Hey, surprise stream. Check this out. Look, I'm doing my thing, looking online, and I see Vosh puts out a video here. It says something about the debt ceiling. Okay? The debt ceiling. What is it? Why is it? What the hell's going on? All that. No, this is an important topic. I get it. It's an important thing. People should understand it, but not because of the numbers. Not because, I think what Vosh is doing is he's describing the dance. He's describing as he says, it's inevitable, okay? This inevitable dance that occurs every time the budget comes up for approval, or any time in this case, when we approach the ceiling, raise the debt ceiling. The government shut down over it. They threaten shutdowns. It's as Bosch has observed and wisely pointed out, it's used as leverage, depending on who has control of the House and depending on what momentum is in effect. It depends, right? But nothing in politics. Politics are sports for nerds, all right? Now, I resent, I've heard this before, and I think it's kind of funny and it's apt, but I resent the context that makes it apt because, let's see, do you know people that are into sports? Right? Like people that are, so much into sports that they watch the draft picks and they anticipate, this player's coming from college and they're like, they have an understanding of stats. They have an understanding of progression of the sports and what the upper limits of players are. And, you need someone on defense versus offense, secondary defense, or you have your own like armchair critiques, right? It's more than enough to keep dudes mostly engaged, busy, especially if you dabble in fantasy football. Oh, man. Sports. I was going to say sports. Politics are that for people who don't like sports, but have the inclination to keep up with the details and anticipate, this is a strong player and they're going to be able to produce this outcome, even though it's impossible. And why don't they just do this? It's been done before. And it's the same talk, except it's, relative to politics and not sports. I don't mean to keep Vosh suspended in amber like that. But we're going to go back just a little. I don't have a lot of time, but I think this is good to log into the archive. And also I want to say, I sent Vosh an email. Right? I sent him an email a week ago. And I look at him as like a kindred spirit, someone who is more interested in getting it than being seen as getting it. And then there's the destiny discourse where, they have a different opinion of Vosh and they think there's a contest of who copied who and who's superior. And that's fun. I enjoy that. That's sports for nerds for me. This, right? But Vosh is closer. Vosh is closer than Destiny. Destiny is better than Vosh, okay? Vosh is closer at getting it. He's much more flexible. He's much more invested, and he has much more conviction. Destiny is looking, and maybe this is from his Catholic upbringing, I don't know what explains it, but he's more interested in kind of the conservative approach where the law and the order that is in place should operate by these tenets. And if there's something inconsistent with that, this is like the autism pilled type explanation, then you have to kind of harp on that inconsistency because it's not right. It shouldn't be that way. And you're trying to get it straight, right? You're trying to say like, this is the way it's supposed to be, but you're doing this. And although that work is I don't want to just say that's garbage, that's stupid, because it's not, right? But really getting it, cat stole my chair. Really getting it is something entirely different. There has to be, as I made reference to earlier, a fire in your belly. I don't know if you're born with that or what, but some of us have it, some of us don't. I equate that to gnosis, right? It is a special type of wisdom, and not just that your faculties, have. It's not just your personality; it's your interest, right? You don't have a choice. You have to understand. You have to know. You have to be able to explain it, and you have to be able to get it. It's a compulsion, but it's It's one that if you have, you get it. If you don't, you don't. Whatever. Vosh is talking about the debt ceiling. This is what I want to ring in and say. He points out, yes, there are many videos online. There are better informed and more articulate, educated folks. As he says, there are many neoliberals out there. You can find them. But look, I sent Vosh an email, and it really bugs me he didn't get back to me. I know he's busy, but man, it's fucking lonely out here. It is lonely as fuck. It's not necessarily in the real world. It's not like I'm lonely. I'm like, I just want someone to, I want a kindred spirit. I want to be able to, my wife is so sweet, you know? I didn't marry her for no bad reason. Or how do I put it? I married her for good reasons. I'm lucky that she married me, but she's not into this, like, you know, super cerebral. Most people aren't, okay? That doesn't mean I hate them. My kids don't love this. Some of them are more interested than others. You know, I got 3 boys. My dog's a pretty good listener. But since the pandemic and since Trump, a lot of this has become much more serious. And we have, you know, the murder of George Floyd and the question of, well, George Floyd wasn't exactly a good citizen, was he? No, he wasn't. But that doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything because George Floyd was a human that was capable of being better. That's the first and foremost. But second off, the conditions that produce characters like George Floyd and any of the young black men that have been killed by police in areas that are over-policed are an extension of the cause. And we need to be focused on the cause, not like assholes. What's that guy's name? Actual justice warrior, Sean Fitzgerald, I think his name is. He's the worst. He is the worst. He makes Ben Shapiro look like, I don't know, one of the guys or something. But actual justice warrior, oh, I would love to turn you into shredded wheat, you fucking bitch. The guy doesn't know shit, but he insists with white-knuckled intensity that it's the black people's fault. That's his angle. They could go to college. They could make themselves better. Some people, blah, 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 blah. The guy is the worst. The worst. Don't, and I'm sure that Lawrence Southern would actually have progressed into a more functional mind frame were it not for his worm-tonguish existence. He's the worst. He is the worst. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about there are smart people out there that they have command of the subject. What was I saying? It's lonely out here. I want to have someone that I can coalesce with, at least sometimes. Okay, I got to get to this. My animals are freaking out. I got stuff I got to do too. But this debt ceiling thing, I don't even know if we're going to play Vosh, but he said to put his face up. Look, I sent him an email. He didn't respond. Fuck you too, Vosh. That's how it goes. He's going to be, you know, shitty at me or like, I don't even know who that guy is, which he does. He does. Guys, you all know who I am. Accept it. Move on. Make your opinions about me. Stop pretending. The algorithm and the way this is situated out here is I cannot punch through without your help. Okay? What you want from me, you need to make known. You can't just hold this grudge but whatever. I said more than enough about that. I got your number. Quit being a bitch. All of you. Quit being an actual justice warrior bitch. That's what you're all the Vosh fans that could have given me a little help over here. Opportunity to coalition build. People online that have some discrepancies with the party line towing, you know, culture majority report, thanks to Matt Leck and Lennon. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has these thoughts. If one person thinks it, so too will another. I mean, that's just the way it goes. Where are you at? I don't need to keep you like a pet, and I don't need you to sign some lifelong loyalty. I just need to know that there are other people out here that aren't NPCs, essentially. I know intimidation and insecurity plays a big part in the phony Gen Z culture. Like, it's not a thing, guys. You know that's not a thing, right? But anyways, the debt ceiling. Look, I'm not even gonna get into Vosh. I'm gonna make this quick. Hit it and quit it. I'm out of here. Listen, this is the thing. The debt ceiling is a real deal. It shows that the US dollar is over leveraged. The deficit is a problem. It will fuck us. Defaulting on the what do you call it? What's the legal speak? Debts and If we default on our debts, then yes, it would collapse the global economy. Of course, yes, that's true. But it is the cause, not the effect, that we should be concerned with. And this is why Republicans can use it as leverage against Democrats, or vice versa, or inside of parties. People want something for their district and they won't sign up. Vosh makes a really good point. He says, in fact, let's just play a little of his voice so this is, official.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, which is, hey, the United States is really wealthy, so that's kind of where we are, right? So the question is, right, like, okay, so it promotes trust broadly. It doesn't always represent the actual amount of, like, missing money in the economy.
But it does. Okay, that's all we needed. I like that face Vosh has, because that's the face that he would have if we were actually talking, and this is how it would go. You're right to an extent. Perception is very important in this calculus, right? The value of money and the health of our economy is determined by attitude. It sucks, but that's the way it is. It's better than someone at the top saying, this is what things are worth and cost today. That never works. We know that. So that being said, the impression is one thing. It matters. The game, it is a game. It's stupid. But someone asks, why don't they make it infinite? And Vosh is like, no. This needs to be a percentage of our GDP in growth. We can only anticipate spending as much as we can produce. The value of money matters. It is treated like it doesn't, but it matters. And the US dollar is so overextended right now. We're facing a crisis that no one's really picked up on, because it would underserve the conventional folk. There's no such thing as the left, okay? But I'm going to say the left just so you know what I'm talking about. There's no such thing as Gen Z. There's no such thing as any of the shit that you guys swear makes you different than other people. It's fucking retarded. Just like your awareness of economics, it's retarded. It doesn't have to stay that way. Vosh is helping you. He's a helpful guy. He's maybe even smarter than I am, okay? But still, we don't care about the acceptance of this, that, or the other. We care about how it may play out according to the objectives that we've, committed ourselves to. But look, now I got the gangster cat in here too. Look, the value of the dollar matters. You have to consider the rate of growth and the velocity of money. You have to consider other variables than just, it's always happened before, it might shut down. The United States dollar is the global currency. You're aware of that. And you understand that if we let the bottom fall out on the dollar, which is not backed up by gold, it's backed up by, this math has to work out. And the percentage of debt based on GDP matters. The percentage of deficit annually based on growth per GDP matters. And they are so fucked that we are cruising for bruising every second. This contest really doesn't matter. Of course, they need to put it through. They shouldn't fuck around with this, because this chills confidence in other regards. And we may see consequences that are irreversible just from investor confidence, because, the movement of money in and out of other countries and foreign exchange markets and things like that. These are all complicated things, but they're also grokkable. You can grasp them. The point that I need to make here is the demonstration, the pageantry is pageantry. Don't buy into because they can just change the debt limit, right? But the problem that has served this, the platter that it's on, is, I don't know the right metaphor. It ain't a plate. It's the vestiges of something that could be used as a serving dish maybe 10,000 years ago. But right now it's like air, everything hitting it, it's just like crumbling. But I don't know the right way to put it, because it doesn't make sense that it's still held together. It doesn't make sense that they can meet and all talk about this, because what is underscoring the value of the US dollar is the potential growth and utility value of the United States economy. What are we good for? What are we fucking good for? What do we do? What do we make? What do we think? Who are we? If we don't answer these questions, then people like Vivek Ramaswamy and other, he's the best type Republican, and he's fucking horrible. He's a pandering fool, but he's right to try to get Americans to be proud of who they are and look forward to the future. That's how the economy works. Now, you can talk about neoliberalism, but austerity is not part of the plan. Anyone who favors austerity is just wrong. They're wrong. Now, tomorrow's church day. We're going to do a stream about religious and spiritual topics. We're going to talk about science and religion and how those two things are essentially the same thing, but over time, the contest for who gets to determine what's true changes the value in the natural condition that we as humans have to observe and seek truth. To seek truth and look to observe it, because it's not a concrete thing. It's subjective. It's different for people. It depends on the time. It depends. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. But for now, I need to come back on here and say, look, Vosh, you're doing a good job, except you didn't hit me back. And you want to make this about like watching me to stay cool. I see you jettison Shark for his racist, and that dude's horrible. I don't know why you like backed Shark to begin with. You got a good player right here. I don't know where your fucking people are. None of them are coming over here. Not even say hi. It makes me think like it's all a sham. So if you don't want a smart man out here to have the righteous and just judgment that explains Vosh and his community as a bunch of pretentious, snotty, scared little bitches, and Vosh is just 2 steps away from a Wikipedia page at best, then hit me back. Fly me out. Like, let's talk, because this shit is real. The summertime approacheth. And if we wait another month, it's going to be fucking too late. And my job is to just going to be point at you guys and say, look, they're continuing to do the same shit when they could have fucking turned it around. I don't need to be famous. I don't need the bitches. I don't need any of that. I just need you to take the utility of what I'm saying and put it in the code that's all fucked up and fractured to fix it. We got to fix it. That's the goal. I'm sorry if you're insecure and you don't like people telling you you're wrong, but you're wrong. Vosh gave you good information about the debt ceiling. He's right. But what he's missing is, and he may get to it because there's like 30 more minutes in this video. I don't have time for it. Email me back. I may care again, but I don't give a fuck about little kids that just want me to suck their dick. This is about the information that we're trafficking in. And this is about the results and effects that we want to produce. We want to get at the cause and change the effect based on the cause. We're smart enough. We're good enough to do it, but you can't do it without me. And I certainly cannot do it without you. The platform policing requires me to coalesce with other creators. I don't want to put my ass out here trying to sell it to any fucking Lonerbox imitator. I want to either talk to Lonerbox, Vosh, Destiny, Sam Cedar, somebody that is actually responsible for the ideas. I don't want to fuck around with these hierarchy games. Like, who are you to want to talk to someone important? I'm another fucking important person. That's what. I'm getting really frustrated because what I have to provide could serve a better outcome. And as soon as I just get a little bit of coalescence, then we can shift into fun times. We can play the games and draw and listen to music and do jokes and network with other people and have like times where we only occasionally do deep dives, and we do them for reasons, not because we're compelled by a constant haunting, barking hellhound that chases you. That's what's at my heels right now. It's there because nobody seems worthy of being saved. Nobody. You're damning yourself with your own stupidity and perpetuation of groupthink and half good info at best. Yeah, you're right about the debt ceiling, but we're fucked economically unless people wake up and start saying, you know what? It doesn't matter that people are going to ship jobs overseas because that's more jobs for us to do here in the United States. It's a point of pride to say that we're doing this in the United States. We have the best academic institutions. We have the best cultures because we have a mix of all of the cultures. We've got all the best shit, all of it, but it's not as good as it is because it's in a vacuum. It's as good as it is because of its position in the world at a point past the old world's development. That's a complicated story, and maybe we'll do Tuesday History Day or something like that. But tomorrow's church. Tonight is like, yeah, okay, Vosh, you're smart, but you're just another bitch until you email me back. I thought we were friends. At least that's what my schizophrenic voices in my head told me.